All right, it finally happened, that big Nintendo Direct we've all been waiting for. New Fire Emblem, new Pikmin, and a new trailer and name for the next Zelda game. But how did it all stack up together? Well, I'm gonna run the whole show back with a full recap, and you can let me know what you thought about the event in the comments below. There's a lot of games to talk about, so let's get right into it. To kick things off, the September 2022 Nintendo Direct opened immediately with a reveal trailer for Fire Emblem Engage, the next main entry in the Fire Emblem series. The game's protagonist is named Alier and has been asleep for 1,000 years after winning a great war. Alier is known to be a divine dragon as a result of their royal lineage. An ancient evil has returned and they must collect emblem rings to fight off the fell dragon once again. If you were wondering, yes, Marth is in this game, and there seems to be some type of spirit pairing mechanic which has you teaming up with familiar and new characters in battle. Surprisingly, the game even got a release date. It's out next year on January 20th. After that reveal, we got a ton of back-to-back game announcements for upcoming titles on Switch. Co-op platforming game It Takes Two is coming to Switch on November 4th. Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is out early next year, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is getting its Wave 2 DLC on October 13th, which will bring the new playable hero, Ino, and wave-based challenge battles. SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake got a new trailer. Then there was a hilariously rad Fist of the North Star fitness game called Fitness Boxing, Fist of the North Star. And after that, there was a trailer for a neat looking multiplayer minigame collection called Oddballers. All three of those games are out on Switch sometime next year. Nintendo also took some time to mention that Tunic is out on Switch right now, and the first three Front Mission games are getting complete remakes. The Front Mission First remake is dropping in November, and the Front Mission 2 remake will come out next year. No word on a date for the third yet. Now, mentally prepare yourself, because this is the first of many yet to come trailers for farming and life sim games during this month's Nintendo Direct. So first up, Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life is being remade as Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. So that will come out next summer. Then there was an update for Splatoon. The first post-launch Splatfest will take place between September 23rd and September 25th, and has participants deciding what they will bring to a deserted island: gear, grub, or fun. Nintendo also said that more free updates are on the way. Next up, and one of my favorites, Octopath Traveler 2 was officially announced, and it looks just as good, if not more stunning than the first game. It's an all new group of heroes with a new story, and that's slated to release next year on February 24th. So a little bit of a wait. Remember that date though, because there's going to be a lot more games announced that are coming out on exactly that same day. The second farming sim announcement was for Fae Farm, which has a little more focus on magic than the other previous sim game. Cultivate a homestead, learn spells to grow crops, fight monsters, you know the drill. You can play with up to 4 people simultaneously, and that's out in spring 2023. Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line, the next Theater Rhythm game, also got a new trailer. It has a ton of iconic songs from a library of memorable Square Enix franchises, including Final Fantasy, Live Alive, Nier, and Octopath Traveler. That game will hit Switch next year on February 16th. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope got a new trailer as well, which had some shots from the stuff shown off at the Ubisoft Forward over the weekend, but there was some new stuff in here too. That's gonna be out October 20th. Somehow the third farming sim game shown off during the Direct happens to be Rune Factory 3, which is getting a Switch release. In this one, you can raise monsters and turn into a monster, so that's cool, I guess. They also added a mode so you can spend more time with your in-game spouse. How nice. Nintendo confirmed that a new Rune Factory is currently in the works for future release as well, but Rune Factory 3 will be available on Switch next year. Next, a Nintendo Online Plus expansion pack update: Mario Party 1 through 3, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, 1080 snowboarding, Excitebike 64, and finally, GoldenEye are coming to the subscription service. Some are out this year, but most aren't coming until next year. The GoldenEye announcement just said, coming soon. All right, this next one is literally called Various Day Life, and I'm not sure if it counts as a farming sim because I didn't really see any farming, but apparently you can do over 100 types of daily tasks to build character. So I'm sure farming is in there somewhere. Anyways, that's out today, apparently. Factorio is a management sim game that was announced way back in 2013. It came out officially in 2020, and now it's coming to Switch later this year on October 28th. Ib is an indie game about a weird painting that traps a girl in a strange world. That's coming out next spring. Next up, Pauline, Diddy Kong, More Gear, and Another Stadium are coming to Mario Strikers Battle League later this month as part of its second free update. Then we got an announcement and an extended trailer for Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End, and The Secret Key. It looks like a life sim, but this one falls a little more safely on the open world JRPG side of things. There will be more announcement about it at TGS later this week, but it did get a release date of February 24th. The next two tracks for Mario Kart 8's Booster Pack, Merry Mountain from the mobile game Mario Kart Tour, and Peach Gardens from Mario Kart DS are dropping this holiday, and Nintendo Switch Sports is getting a free update which will add golf. You can play locally or with 8 players online. It was originally supposed to drop in the fall, but it's now been delayed, so it's coming out in the holiday season as well. Then, finally, Miyamoto appeared to drop at least one larger announcement, but not without a couple of housekeeping items. The Mario movie is out next spring, and Super Nintendo World theme parks in the US and Japan are nearing completion. Miyamoto showed off Pikmin Bloom, which I think actually came out last year, but I guess it's probably had a few updates and they want people to check it out. After that, Miyamoto did reveal a teaser trailer for Pikmin 4. So no actual gameplay yet, but Nintendo did share a screenshot. That's out in 2023. After Miyamoto pieced out, we got a Switch-specific trailer for Just Dance 2023, which is skipping last gen and will be the last traditional annual release for the franchise. From here on out, it's just going to be major updates via download. Also, it's adding online multiplayer. That's out November 22nd. Next up, and I think maybe the last farming/life sim game of the show, Harvestella. We saw a trailer for this already this year, but now a bunch of gameplay has been revealed and there is a demo available for Switch right now. The full game is available November 4th, and yes, your save data will transfer over from the demo. Of all the sims showed off, I think maybe this one's my favorite. Bayonetta 3 also showed up with more gameplay. In this game, you fight against man-made bioweapons called homunculi. There's a pretty big returning cast as well as the addition of the new character Viola. That game is appropriately coming out in October on the 28th. After the direct, Nintendo also dropped an 8-ish minute gameplay walkthrough, which shows off a ton of new stuff. So if you are excited for Bayo 3, go check that out. Oh, you can also play as Viola and she can summon a demon from her sword. The creators behind Danganronpa have a new title in the works called Master Detective Archives Raincode. As of right now, it appears you play as amnesiac trainee detective Yuma, who is haunted by a spirit named Shinigami, who allows you to travel to a spirit realm that ultimately helps you solve cases. Cool premise and setting. That's out in spring 2023. A cloud version of Resident Evil Village is coming to Switch October 28th. Also, really cool because it's a spooky season. Cloud versions of Resident Evil 7, RE Remake 2, and RE Remake 3 will also be out later this year. All right, brace yourself. We're gonna run through a flurry of titles for this next section. Sifu is coming to Switch November 8th. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is out December 13th. And a modernized Radiant Silvergun is out today. Endless Dungeon, the wave-based procedurally generated dungeon crawling roguelite, is coming to Switch next year. A Tales of Symphonia remaster is coming out also early next year. And then, since we are in real Cruft territory here, we also got a release date sizzle reel, which featured the Life is Strange Arcadia Bay collection, out September 27th. Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered, out December 1st. Lego Brick Tales, out fall 2022. Disney Speedstorm, the Disney kart racer, which is slated for this year still. And Fall Guys Season 2, which is out later this week on September 15th. With all of that out of the way, Nintendo finally announced another first-party game. Kirby's Return to Dreamland is getting a remake/remaster, depending on which side you fall on that. This deluxe version will feature 4-player co-op and everyone can be Kirby. There's also mini games that support co-op as well. That's slated also for February 24th next year. That finally brings us to the end of the show, which of course you have already heard about by now, in which Nintendo finally revealed the name of the next Zelda game, which will be called The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. There's already been a bit of online discourse about people not liking the name, but you know what? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Watching Link just dive into the air is still pretty exciting, and there were 2 mechanics shown off, Link riding a rock, kind of like an elevator, and then falling through the sky and landing on what looked like a stone glider. But the thing a lot of Zelda historians are gonna love are all the ancient stone carvings that showed up in the beginning of the trailer that might help them further deduce what this game is all about before it comes out. Speaking of which, there is also a release date now. May 12th, 2023. There was a lot of speculation before about the sequel to Breath of the Wild being held back in order to match a release date with a new and improved version of the Switch, a Pro Switch or Switch 2. That could potentially still be the case since it was only about 5 months between the announcement and release of the original Switch. So they could certainly announce new hardware early next year if that's going to happen by the launch of this new Zelda game. All right, that's finally everything. The big highlights here, obviously, new Fire Emblem Engage, Pikmin 4, and this new Zelda trailer, which continues to look awesome. You know, for me personally, Octopath Traveler 2 looks great. Bayonetta 3 looks fantastic, and I guess, you know, Mario plus Rabbids Stars of Hope, not looking too shabby either. As far as announcements go and health of the Switch, this is probably an A+ or S tier event for Nintendo, but there's almost too many games here, and as a member of the audience, I feel like it could have easily been split into 2 directs. So I think on the presentation side, it's more of a B as far as grades go, but don't take my word for it. Feel free to share your own thoughts and grades for the event in the comments below. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and for more video game news and updates, stay tuned right here to Inside Gaming.